There's breaking news out this morning that is not getting the attention it deserves, because the dumpster fire vending machine that is the Trump administration keeps churning out salacious headlines. But 5 years from now, if unaddressed, I can guarantee this is going to be the story that's still relevant, because the New York Times just got their hands on an advanced copy of a 100-page notice from the Department of Housing and Urban Development that is expected to be released in the next couple of days. And when it is released, it is going to be a multi-billion-dollar bomb dropped on American nonprofits and the housing market. I'm particularly close to this because over a period of almost 10 years, I worked in housing and finance, and I led a grant review committee at a major nonprofit where we allocated millions of dollars to housing and financial education programs. Now, essentially what we're talking about here is the value of housing first. This is a data-backed philosophy that says when you take care of a person's housing needs, and they become significantly more likely to be successful in dealing with other issues like mental health or addiction. What Trump is trying to do here is exactly what he did with Medicaid, is basically say that you have to fix yourself first before you're entitled to help. The changes outlined in this notice are so bad that when Republicans in Congress caught wind, 20 of them signed a letter to the Trump administration begging them not to do it. This is just Republicans. In a joint letter that was published to Politico, they warned that rapid changes would destabilize this housing program and rapidly disrupt critical services to almost 200,000 disabled, mostly elderly citizens, ultimately resulting in most of them being pushed back out on the street with nowhere to turn. Unfortunately, those 20 Republicans forgot that with the Trump administration, the cruelty is always the point. Because according to the notice that's going to be released this week, against the guidance of his own party, Trump is trying to push through the changes to the program, which would cut $2 billion from Housing First programs, a full 2/3 of its budget, and those cuts would take effect in less than 2 months. And Trump intends to get around congressional approval for these cuts because he's not technically cutting the spending from HUD, but reallocating it towards sobriety and mental health programs. But those programs are not able to help people for more than 2 years. Taken together, this policy change is saying that people have to get themselves healthy and sober first before they can access temporary housing assistance. And after 2 years of support, they better be cured because they're getting nothing else. Which means for most of these people who may be severely or permanently disabled, they're going to be homeless in less than 2 years. And that's exactly what the Trump administration expects, because this policy was effectively written by the Cicero Institute, far-right think tank led by a billionaire who happened to have co-founded Palantir with our dear friend Peter Thiel. Are we connecting some dots here? Now you can read up on Cicero, but they're trash. To put a fine point on it, the lobbyist from Cicero said that we were assuming too much of homeless people, assuming that they were ready for housing. Ready for housing? What's the alternative? Prison? Exactly. Because while with one hand Trump is defunding housing programs, with the other hand he's criminalizing homelessness, effectively funneling homeless people into the for-profit private prison network while funneling billions in spending away from the network of nonprofits and social workers trying to help people. Now, if this all sounds terrible to you, yes, you're correct. But there is something you can do. Share this far and wide because public outrage does matter. But more importantly, go to endhomelessness.org to learn about the organizations that are suing the federal government to stop this bullshit from becoming a reality. Then, of course, vote for progressive politicians that put housing first so we never have to deal with this bullshit again.